Good morning and welcome to Kid News. I'm Kim. Today is Wednesday, July 15th, 2020. And we begin with something a parrot might want to crow about. Griffin is a 22-year-old African gray that knows almost 50 words and apparently has quite a memory. In a recent study, Griffin and 21 Harvard college students were asked to play the shell game, where they had to find a pom-pom placed beneath a plastic cup, which was then shuffled around and mixed up with other cups. In 120 rounds, Griffin either beat or tied the kids 85% of the time. It's pretty remarkable since the African gray parrot is separated from humans by more than 300 million years of evolution. To quote one of the research leaders, "We had Harvard students concentrating in engineering, pre-meds, this, that, seniors, and he just kicked their butts." America's toughest judge is back in the hospital. 87-year-old Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg checked into Johns Hopkins yesterday after spiking a fever Monday night. According to the court, she may have an infection, is resting comfortably, and will remain there for a few days to be treated with antibiotics. This is the second recent hospital stay for RBG. She was admitted back in May for a gallbladder problem and participated in oral arguments from her bed. Finally, some good news on the coronavirus front. Biotech company Moderna says its trial vaccine prompted an immune response in all 45 participants, and it remains on track to pump out 500 million doses next year. It can't come soon enough. Just days after reopening gyms, theaters, and restaurants, California Governor Gavin Newsom ordered them closed again due to a surge in cases and hospitalizations. Basically, anything indoors is now off limits. What's more, his two largest school districts, Los Angeles and San Diego, announced that students will not return to the classrooms in the fall. They'll be online only, at least to start. As one superintendent put it, he doesn't want his schools becoming a petri dish of infection. Also hitting pause is Hong Kong Disneyland. After just a month back in business, the park had to close back down because of a COVID spike on the peninsula. How long it will stay shuttered is unclear. 5,978 miles away, just the opposite. Disneyland in Paris threw open its gates this morning for the first time in 4 months. As far as Disney's other resorts, Shanghai and Tokyo are both open, as is Disney World in Orlando, Florida. Worldwide, all the parks require reservations to minimize crowds, and masks are mandatory. Disneyland in Anaheim, California is closed and will stay closed until further notice. It's one thing to attempt a viral video. It's quite another when you can't swing the stunt. The latest Tik Tok fail comes by way of the UK, where a group of teens hit their local playground hoping to record themselves in baby swings. Since the maximum age for those is probably 3, it's not entirely surprising that one of the 14-year-olds got stuck. Leilani McLean was in tight, and no amount of tugging was going to help. Nor did the dish detergent raced over by her amused mom. After 90 minutes of trying on their own, they had to call in the cavalry. Firefighters arrived, cracked a few jokes, cut Leilani down, and slid her out. The video probably isn't what she had in mind, but she sure did get her 15 minutes of fame. More college sports just bit the COVID dust. Monday, the Patriot League followed the lead of the Ivies and banned all athletics for the rest of the year. The impacted schools include Boston, Bucknell, Lehigh, Lafayette, American, Holy Cross, Colgate, and Loyola, Maryland. The Big Ten and Pac-12, meantime, say they're still going to try and play with a conference-only schedule in the works for their 2020 football season. The SEC and ACC have yet to announce. As for the pros, they're pushing forward with plans to take the field, possibly with a new piece of equipment. The NFL is trying out a mouth shield to protect against the virus. It's clear with plastic slits and has so far only been tested on the Rams and Chargers. Whether it's actually effective or will be accepted by the players has yet to be determined. And that's it for Kid News this morning. Now, our Kid News quiz. What's the name of the parrot that beat Harvard students in the shell game? Griffin, a 22-year-old African gray. What will fall look like for the two biggest school districts in California? LA and San Diego will be online only, at least initially. Which Disney park just shut back down again? Hong Kong Disney after only a month. Which feisty Supreme Court justice is back in the hospital? Ruth Bader Ginsburg for a possible infection. In one for the road, the next time you have a Whopper at Burger King, there's a good chance that it came from a cow that broke less wind than normal. The company says it's adding 100 grams of lemongrass to the diets of its animals to reduce undertail emissions by up to 33% a day. Cow gas is one of the key contributors to climate change because it traps the sun's heat and warms it. The new lemongrass-laced, fart-friendly beef rolled out in Austin, Los Angeles, Miami, New York, and Portland yesterday. Before we go, we have some birthdays to recognize. Chloe in Melbourne, Florida, Lionel in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and in Virginia, Marshall in Williamsburg, and Henry in Reston. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you back here for more Kid News tomorrow morning.